Hello, my name is Andrew Hilliker, and I'm the principal at St. Joseph's School in Moorhead, Minnesota. I would argue the greatest job that one could have. This is the State of the School report for St. Joseph's School in Moorhead, and its purpose is to share with our stakeholders and all who give in any way, shape, or form to our school an insight into what we're working on and towards uh, throughout the school year. I'll reference this at the end of this presentation, but please know that if you have questions or would like to discuss further what's happening in our school, to reach out to me at your convenience. St. Joseph's School is the parish school of both St. Joseph's Parish in Moorhead and St. Francis Parish in Moorhead. Our mission is to lead children and families to Christ within the Catholic Christian community, to foster the spiritual, academic, social, emotional, and physical development of each person, and to prepare our students to use knowledge and faith to be a light for the parish and community in the world they live in. The pictures you see on this page are highlights of how that is coming to fruition at St. Joseph's School. That mission is really driven with three pillars that is our philosophy, and that is through faith, leadership, and service. So we have a goal and a mindset that with those three pillars, a great deal is possible. We want our students and our staff to grow closer to Christ. We want them to become leaders, and we want them to serve the world they live in. Faith happens in a lot of ways, and that's liturgically, through adoration and prayer, through reading scriptures, through practicing reconciliation and communion, and all of those things get to happen at St. Joseph's School. Leadership, in conjunction with that, we need people in our communities and beyond to have sound leadership skills, and we see that happen throughout the years at St. Joseph's School. One of the proudest moments I have each year is when I hear teachers and administrators from high schools in our community reach out and say that students that come from St. Joe's are so sound and confident in who they are. And that's a point of pride for us at St. Joe's. And finally, to be stewards of our community. God has gifted us with a great deal, and for us to be caretakers of all of that is a great responsibility. So from various tasks throughout the school year, St. Joseph's School has been led by our student council to purchase and create a well in Africa. We have supported the homeless shelter in Moorhead, Churches United, and the Dorothy Day House, our Fill the Dome initiative, Ronald McDonald House. We've really gone down the list of ways to support our community in every way, shape, and form. That all happens because we have really great people doing great things, and that as a whole, we have a dedicated staff of over 40 people. We have 3 exemplary priests. Father Larry Delaney is our superintendent, Father Brian Quave, our associate pastor, and then Father Raul from St. Francis Church in North Moorhead lead us in our ministry. 20 exceptional teachers, 5 support staff who go above and beyond every day, our 2 food service staff, among other volunteers, assure that we have a sound kitchen that is producing quality meals and also functioning at its really greatest possible capacity. We have a remarkable administrative staff, from accounting services to administrative assistants to health tech to development office, and our facilities staff who assure our our building and grounds are well cared for. In addition, we have an after-school program called Extended Day, as well as a summer program, and the staff that lead and run those programs really provide an extension of the school for our students that are a very great benefit. In addition, we have 242 what I like to call aspiring saints, students who are, every one of which are growing closer to Jesus and serving their community. As a whole, when we look at that group of students, 80% of them are Catholic, 20% hail from other denominations. Of those that are Catholic, 80% are from St. Joseph's Parish, 10% are from St. Francis, and then 10% from other surrounding parishes. Almost an even split between male and female. 10% receive some level of special education, and 13% are eligible for subsidized lunch program. We have students coming from multiple different school districts around Fargo-Moorhead, most notably from Moorhead and Fargo, but numbers from DGF, West Fargo, and even beyond that. Annually, we ask families to provide us with input, and that is a way for us to always be mindful of continuous improvement, but also be mindful of what we're doing well so we can continue to do it and make it even better. This information or data really paves the way for us to make annual goals for self-improvement. Families are asked to respond to a variation of questions utilizing a scale of 5 to 1, 5 being strongly agree and 1 being strongly disagree. So just to go through these, my child is making academic progress in. The variations of content areas are shown below. Staff and teachers have gone to great lengths to assure curriculum is aligned and provide assessments that relate to instructional practices. So we're very proud of the results we have. We're not done with the work. There's more to be done, and as a diocese, we have created and implemented a curriculum review process that really is student focused. So what is it we want our kids to learn? How do we know they're going to learn it? And how are we going to respond to the results of if they have or have not learned it? All families were also asked to give feedback on social aspects and other academic topics. So those questions are opportunities for strong friendships, peer relationships, teacher-student relationships, how are we meeting student social emotional needs, enjoyment of school, transitions of the school day, academic needs being met, and that same scale was presented to families. We're very proud and humbled by the responses. A few things that we're really focused on is utilizing our resources to their capacity. So we have a number of remedial academic services that are available. So assuring our process for attaining those are understood. Also, we are blessed with a school social worker who brings so much goodness and stability to our students and their families, assuring that those are taken full advantage of as well. Families were also invited to respond to questions regarding religion and spirituality, as well as school safety. Religion and spirituality, how our values reinforced Catholic identity, developing morals and values in students, stewardship as part of education, all of which again we strive to accomplish through our school mission, We are committed to evaluating our stewardship model to assure it's meeting our community's needs, as well as it's realistic for our school community. Safety, as much as we want to and pray that we don't have to be presented with situations that cause or could potentially cause harm to our school students or faculty, we know that we're not immune to those situations. So really working hard to assure students are safe always while they're in our care. Well, families gave us wonderful feedback. We are working with community resources to assure our policies and procedures align with emergency personnel in our community. Updating our facilities to assure that we are throughout the school day secured in different capacities, and assuring our communication is efficient if we have to communicate an emergency situation as well. Communication is another area that we asked for feedback from families. Again, we appreciated the nice feedback that we've received. Some of the takeaways in this area: strong communication with teachers and administration, school-wide communication, and the way that we do communicate, our strengths that we have, areas that in this realm that we're going to evaluate is how we utilize our student information system, which is called TADS. TADS offers a multitude of opportunities for families to track academic progress, financial standings, lunch account balances, attendance, tardiness, etc. Based on the feedback we receive, I hear that we need to communicate how to use this option more clearly. There's a lot that is available that is unaware of, so we're going to look at how we can share that more effectively. Family matters, from our handbook to registration, scholarship, volunteering, and again, an opportunity to reflect. Some qualitative feedback came through with this as well. We have a very robust and effective handbook, but it's only as effective if people know about it. So we heard that we need to do a better job of sharing it, especially with new families. It's readily available online and in other places, but that hard copy for families that are new to our facility, it'll be important that they can see it and utilize it as the resource that it's intended for. Extracurricular activities, a good opportunity for more feedback for us. There was a desire we heard through this survey for more variety in extracurricular activities, which we can very much appreciate and will review what we offer. We're challenged with offering too much, so that what we do offer doesn't reduce the participation rate. We need to find that appropriate balance, and I look forward to working on that. Similar to our co-op opportunities with Shanley Sullivan and the ability to participate at Moorhead Public for our 7th and 8th grade students, assuring that opportunities are robust and available there. Fundraising activities, are they worth the time and effort that they demand? So we've tried to really reduce the times or the frequency in which we go to our stakeholders and say, can you support us? The 4 really primary fundraisers that we have: the dinner dance auction, Giving Hearts Day, tree and wreath sales, and Catholic United Financial raffle. Families overwhelmingly suggest that they support those, and we want to make sure that those resources are used as wisely as we possibly can. We also asked for some qualitative feedback, and while we had a number of responses to the following two questions, I did summarize them into categories, if you will. So the first question is, what can St. Joseph's School do better? A number of comments were evaluate class sizes. I'll discuss enrollment momentarily, but we're blessed with growth. And with that blessing, our class sizes have grown exponentially, and we need to be mindful of what is too big of a classroom to continue the quality that we expect. We have, if we have not met that, we have gone over what we should have, and so taking some time to see where we need to be and what it takes to get back to where we need to be. We put an emphasis in remedial support for reading, being mindful that math is important as well, assuring new families feel connected to the school and to other families, assuring our discipline policy is robust but also proactive and not reactive in all scenarios. So how can we be assuring a clearly and concisely communicated expectations before a concern or issue arises? Retaining high quality teachers, something that's near and dear to my heart. I want our teachers to want to stay at St. Joseph's School. It's an amazing place to be part of and work and learn at. We also need to make sure that it's a fair place for teachers to work at, and so we're working hard to assure that there's compensation improvements made through initiatives from last year continue. And more options for extracurricular activities. So looking at, is it realistic for us to add options in while maintaining participation rates and quality of function? On the flip side of that, what does St. Joseph's School do well? The following, the words that are shown on this page were words directly taken from feedback given from families in the survey. And so the larger the word appears, the more often it occurred in the feedback. So I was very humbling and very proud to see things like faith, communication, academics, staff, Catholic teachers, values. I also appreciated seeing the everything comment. There's a lot of really great things happening at St. Joseph's School, and it was heard through a number of these pieces of feedback as well. And these are the things that we really need to expound on while we also reflect on improvement initiatives. The second piece of this State of the School report is our school strategic plan. We are in our accreditation cycle, year 5, and it's out of a 7-year cycle. So in 2020, we will begin the process for the next cycle, and in 2021, we'll host a visit, an on-site visit, to be re-accredited through the Minnesota Non-Public School Accrediting Association. Our current strategic plan challenges us with 4 objectives: to meet our students' needs, to provide a safe and functional facility, to assure financial strength and educational attainability, and to foster well-rounded students. Considering meeting our students' needs, we really focus on 3 components to that: assuring our curriculum is appropriate, assuring our staff development is meeting the students' needs, and addressing and reacting to assessments accordingly. So we've really focused on curriculum alignment with state standards, and that's becoming a diocesan-wide endeavor. assuring professional development is meaningful, as well as looking at our assessments. What you see on this slide is a very summative or a end of term assessment called the MCA, the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessment. It's taken only by our 8th graders annually, and it's taken by all 8th graders in public schools and most private schools across the state of Minnesota. St. Joseph School you will see on your left side of the screen, while Minnesota is on your right side of the screen, and it's in reading, math, and science. We're very proud of how St. Joe's, the students' results at St. Joe's. In addition to the MCAs, students also take what's called the measures of academic progress, and that is a more proactive tool for progress monitoring. We're able to see real time how students' progression is occurring, and also take action on it immediately. So those are taken by students in kindergarten through 8th grade in the fall, winter, and spring. Our objective 2 focuses on our assuring a safe and functional facility, and that means we're providing the technological resources for 21st century learning. We're providing welcoming and comfortable facilities in a safe environment. As far as technology, we've been able to add a position so that we have a dedicated staff member in our building to be a troubleshooter, be a proactive planner, be an avenue for professional development, to not only assure we have technology, but that it's being used in a meaningful way. And that is also true with facilities. We are a large campus. We've recognized that we need more support in assuring that we are able to maintain our facilities. So we are proactively planning to add a part-time position as a janitorial role, as well as evaluating some large-scale projects that need to be addressed. Our fire safety panel, while it functions very well right now, it's becoming dated. So we are in the process of updating that program. Our doors key locking entry system, evaluating what we can do better with that. So really taking a focus on what do we need to do today to assure we're in a good position tomorrow, rather than what should have we done yesterday to prevent something else from happening. School safety wise, we are also assuring that our policies and procedures align with the members of our emergency personnel in our community, so that God forbid a tragic situation occurred, our response matched what their expectations are. Objective 3, financial strength and educational attainability. When it comes down to it, we want anybody that desires a Catholic education to be afforded the opportunity to have one. And we've been blessed over the last 4 years to see wonderful growth in our school. 2015 academic year, we were at about 220 students. We are at just under 245 in 2018. That's a wonderful thing, and we're able to bring what we're doing, our mission, to more people. We need to be mindful and assure that it doesn't diminish our quality. With that, we've revamped our scholarship application process, so it's more refined and simplistic. It's less daunting for families, without losing the integrity of the program. We this current academic year awarded approximately $188,000 in scholarships to 43% of our households. Those funds are generated in various ways, through endowments, through our general operating, through generous donations, as well as at our dinner dance auction. 50% of our reverse bid is dedicated to our scholarship program, also known as the Guardian Angel program. A financial snapshot of St. Joseph's School, where we're at for revenue. We just to kind of explain the spreadsheet that you see in front of you, the middle column under budgeted, that was what we intended to bring in, or what we planned to bring in for revenue in the fiscal year for 17-18. And then the column on the right, projected FY fiscal year end, is what we actually brought in. So if you consider that, each of those line items, for example, tuition, which is our largest, we budgeted 1 million, just over almost 1.02 million, and we brought in just over 1 million, 27, almost 28,000. And so we go through each of those line items as revenues, and we did bring in as a revenue a little more than we budgeted for. When you consider expenses, the same organization of the spreadsheet exists. Our primary line item comes out of salaries and benefits, and we have made wonderful strides and gains in assuring our staff are paid more properly. We're not done yet. The work continues, but it is a continuation. So we, again, budgeted 1.71 million in expenses, and we came in just over that, but again, so did our revenue. And our final objective is that our mission is becoming fulfilled. We are bringing and developing greater relationships among one another and towards Jesus, that we are serving our school parish and our community and beyond, that we're learning our faith more deeply, and that we are all, students, staff, and the like, getting a little bit closer to sainthood. And those are lofty goals, and ones that we are striving for harder, more and more each day. There's a lot of pride and proud moments that happen on a daily basis in this objective. We see our kids extending themselves in very impressive ways through stewardship, through the liturgy, through their learning, through their leadership. We are working on making sure that new families feel and understand and see that to the extent that they should and deserve to feel. And we also want to make sure that our stewardship plan, what we're doing, is appropriate for our community. It's still where it needs to be. When it comes down to it, we are a very blessed community. We have families that truly give from their heart. We have staff that are mission oriented, and we have stakeholders who hold us accountable in the best of ways, who want us to be doing what we say we're doing through our school mission. And that all is a collaborative effort. One of the quotes that you'll see on the back of many t-shirts around our school this year is from Pope Francis. And it, through the translation, it goes a bit like this: saints are not supermen who are born perfect, but rather are ordinary people who followed God with all their heart. And oftentimes we look at the saints and supermen as unattainable statuses. But if we break it down to the fact that those are people who are ordinary, that chose to follow God with all their heart, it seems a little bit more real and a little bit more realistic. And I believe that's what we're working on here at St. Joe's. We have things that we need to do and reflect on and improve at. And as we do that each year, we become a little bit closer to fulfilling our mission. Again, I am so blessed to have the job that I have and humbled by it, and know that my door is always open and my phone is on and my email is available. I would love nothing more than if you'd like to discuss the state of St. Joseph's School in greater detail with these talking points or other ones. I'd be happy to do that. The contact information is there on the screen as well. I appreciate your time in watching and viewing, and continue to pray for us.